Hello everybody, and thank you very much for watching me today. I'll be talking in this episode about a very important topic. I'll be answering a very common question, which is why am I not able to speak confidently and fluently although I practice on a daily basis? So this is a very common question, and it could confuse a lot of students who are willing to speak fluently and confidently very quickly and without taking a very long time. Dear friends, it's very simple. The answer is very simple. You might be practicing wrong. Okay, so those people who suffer from not being able to speak English fluently and confidently might have heard of this common saying, which is practice makes perfect. And that's correct. Practice makes perfect. But the problem is that you might be practicing wrong. Your way and the thoughts that you have that you implement or that you follow to speak English could be wrong. Now, I've seen a lot of examples in my career. A lot of these examples have been able to speak English fluently without practicing speaking. So if you understand that you need to speak English so you can be better in speaking, I'm telling you, you are wrong. You have to practice something else to become a better speaker. But the question is right now, what do you have to practice? What do you have to practice? Before I answer this very important question, I'll tell you about something. I'd like to ask you something. Please go to any famous and good and well-known writer and ask him this question. What made you a good writer? What made you a famous writer? What made you a popular writer? The answer is very simple. He didn't practice writing. This person, this amazing writer, didn't practice writing. He practiced, but not writing. He practiced something different. He practiced reading. So guys, if you would like to be a great and a confident writer, you have to read a lot. You have to think a lot. You have to make mistakes, that's right, okay. But you need to read a lot. So I believe those excellent and famous writers wrote, let's say for example, 1,000 books, okay? But how many books have they read? Ask any famous writer, he would absolutely answer you and say, I have read more than 10,000 books. So you read a lot and you speak like this. You read a lot and you write like this. So the production, the amount of production is very small in comparison to the intake. You need to get a lot of input. You need to get a lot of information. You need to acquire a lot of knowledge so you can produce that knowledge. So scholars and specialists and teachers and those educated people have a lot of information that enables them to speak, communicate, and discuss. But the person who doesn't have that much information in the head, in the brain, won't, as a result, logically, won't be able to speak. So there are elements that help you speak. For me, I didn't speak with any person in the world in English, so I improved my English. No, that wasn't the way. I'm speaking well, and everybody wants to speak very well. You might say you are speaking English because you are an English teacher. But come on, when I started teaching, I was 23. And at that time I was speaking maybe faster and better and as fluently as right now. How was I able to speak fluently? I didn't practice speaking. I practiced listening and I practiced reading and I corrected my mistakes. Now, guys, there is another issue that I'd like to tell today. The issue is very simple. You might be practicing wrong, and don't forget that whenever you speak, you make mistakes, and that's true, right? That's natural. That is expected. You make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. But when you don't correct your mistakes, or there is nobody who is ready to correct your mistakes, you will have more mistakes. You will increase the number of your mistakes, and your mistakes are going to be stronger mistakes. That'll lead you, or that'll take you to a place where getting rid of those mistakes is going to be impossible. So make a mistake and then speak English, and make the same mistake and then speak English, and practice speaking English and make the same mistakes. The teacher's job, after making thousands of mistakes, will be almost impossible. And that's why learners of the English language find it truly hard to get over their mistakes. Why? Because they come to me after they tried several ways. And I tell them, for example, you made a lot of mistakes. But the second time, they discover that they haven't learned from their mistakes. The problem is that they've learned, but it requires more time for me and for them to get over those mistakes. I mean, destroying a building so we can build a better one, a higher one, a newer one is harder than building a new one from scratch. You see? So helping students to get over their mistakes that they already have is a tougher mission than teaching them the right thing from the beginning. Guys, if you practice speaking English with another person or with a native speaker or whatever that person is, you're not going to achieve anything at all. It's showing yourself that I can speak this level. It's all about showing yourself. It's like, when you stand in front of the mirror and you show yourself that, well, my eyebrows are like this and I look like this, and my shirt is okay, and so you are showing yourself your level. But that's not beneficial at all. At all. Right now I'm practicing English, but I'm not getting better in speaking English. The point that you need to pay attention to is that you need to get information. You need to learn words. You need to improve your grammar. You need to expand your knowledge because you need ideas and thoughts so you can discuss while you're talking. And you need to improve your pronunciation. So speaking is a complicated process. It's not repeating words. No, not at all. It's a complicated process that you yourself create. You come up with ideas. You need to form sentences that include words that are formed, that are linked together grammatically, so you have to follow rules, and you should pay attention to your pronunciation to make good impression, and don't forget about body language. So all of these things, all of these elements help you to be a better speaker. And we shouldn't forget one of the most important factors, which is your psychology, your mental status. If you are afraid of talking to others, if you are shy, if you are not willing to make any bad impression, and you are the kind of person who is afraid of the audience, of the judgment of the others, you won't be able to speak. So to be able to speak very well, you need to learn, get as much knowledge as possible. You need somebody to correct your mistakes. You need to raise your confidence. You need to lift your spirit. You need to be a better you. And then you'll find yourself speaking fluently, spontaneously, naturally, without any hesitation. Guys, to do this, or to achieve this, you can join Muayyad Online program. Because in this program, I help all students, no matter what their backgrounds are, to be better speakers. we do daily exercises to help them be better speakers. And I'd like to give you an example, dear friends. When you go to the interview, you might perform very well and impressively, and you might perform very bad, and you might lose the job. But the question is, do you have to practice interviews to be better at the interviews? I mean, do you have to do 100 interviews so you can be better at performing in the interviews? I don't think so. Now, doing things or training to be good at the interview could be, for example, knowing what you have to say, expecting the questions, the common questions, and trying to answer them, improving your language, and putting on good outfit, and so on, you see? So you need to do things that are not related to the interview so you can perform well in the interview. And I don't think that you have to do 100 interviews to be good at the interview, okay? So, and you don't have to speak to be a good speaker. You need to practice something else to be a good speaker, okay? Now, I'll speak in Arabic, and I'll give you this example to illustrate something that it's a matter of time as well. بالعربي بنقول أو بنشوف شخص بنقول له ببساطة إنه ما شاء الله ابنك بيحكي إنجليزي بطلاقة عمره 15 16 17. شو الجواب المنطقي؟ بيقول لك من لما كان صغير نحن حاطينه بمدارس انترناشونال، من لما كان صغير وهو بيلعب كذا، ومن لما كان صغير وهو بيشاهد أفلام، من لما كان صغير مثلا ربيان بأمريكا، صح؟ إذن الموضوع يستغرق وقت. It's about years, not months at all. 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And don't forget hello Hamza, how are you doing? So don't forget one very important factor, which is making a lot of mistakes in your school and college makes you weaker and less courageous to speak. Thank you very much, my dear friends. I truly enjoyed this live streaming and hope that you become better better speakers and join Muayyad Online program. Goodbye. Take care of yourselves.